Hello guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. Rimuru's Return to the Modern World, Tensura x roshidere by Sysnax. Chapter 9. The Lord and the Lady Part 3, Lunchtime. Elia's pav as Suu's words entered my ear. I was left in a daze as I thought. Childhood friends, I've known him my whole life. The word, whole life, repeated in my head until. Hey, Elia. Are you okay? You're spacing out. Masachika's voice brought me back to the present. Sorry. You two get together really well, don't you? Well, yeah, we've been in the same schools ever since kindergarten. It was inevitable that we'd become friends. Yuki says as her inner otaku almost slips out. Do you two get along like that? The one who answered that question was Yuki. At Elia, who was at a loss for a reply, she turned towards her with a gentle smile while tilting her head. We are in the middle of trying to get along, I think. At least, I would like to be friends with Elia-san, however. Before Yuki could finish, a voice chimed in from nearby. I'd like to join too. Seal, who had been quietly observing, stepped forward with a bright smile. If it's all right with you both, I'd love to be friends with Yuki and Elia-san as well. Yuki blinked in surprise but then quickly grinned. Of course, Seal-san. The more the merrier, right, Elia-san? My eyes opened wide, clearly caught off guard by the sudden addition. I looked between Yuki and Seal, then sighed softly. I don't think it'd be enjoyable being friends with me, I mumbled. Yuki blinked a few times, then smiled again at the strange refusal. In other words, Elia-san doesn't mind being friends with me, do you? I guess so. Then let's be friends, Yuki said brightly. And of course, Seal too. Seal nodded enthusiastically. We're all in the same year, after all. It'll be fun. That's right, Yuki suddenly added. If you don't mind, can I call you Elia-san? I heard Masha-senpai and Masachika-kun call you that, and I thought it was lovely. Yes. That's fine, I think, I stammered, still slightly overwhelmed. Fufu, I'm glad. Once again, I'm looking forward to getting along with you, okay? Elia-san, and please call me Yuki. Likewise, Yuki-san, and Seal-san. Let's all have a great time together. Seal beamed. Well, I guess I'm now friends with Seal and Yuki. It doesn't feel bad. Seal pav, after making my first friends since coming to this world, I felt very happy. I've never had many friends in the cardinal world as I was only inside Rimuru and very few people knew of my existence. There was also the fact that I was with Rimuru all the time, so the people who knew me treated me like a boss rather than a friend. I wanted to make friends in elementary school and middle school in this world, but I was too shy, so I never made any. My father in this world even got worried for me, but after seeing me hang out with Q's and Rimuru from time to time, he was happy that I had a social life. As we girls talked about clothing, Rimuru and Q's were discussing how to optimize their artifacts to improve their DPS against creatures with high defense. Even though I've never been personally interested in gaming in general, I've understood why people enjoy weather as an escape from reality or a way to play with friends. I knew Rimuru had fun playing Genshin Impact not only because he played before he reincarnated but also because of the inherently different magic system used there that seemed interesting. While I watched, I saw him grinning from ear to ear looking for the most optimal way to do this or that. I've gotten off a tangent here, as an interesting topic was just brought up. Masachika-kun, would you please consider the talk about joining the student council? To Yuki's words, Masachika said, again, and had a fed-up expression right after an Elia chopsticks stopped moving. How many times have I told you? I have no intention of joining. Besides, didn't you say you brought in a new member the other day? I did, but, as expected, it didn't last long. Yuki replied. The new student council was formed at the beginning of June. About a month ago. At this school, the student council was a little special where the president and vice president of the student council ran for office in pairs, and the other officials were appointed by the president and vice president. The number of officials changed from year to year, but the current members were the president and vice president. In addition to that, Maria the secretary, the accountant, Elia, and the public relations official, Yuki. Only 5 people in total, and currently there's no one in charge of general affairs. Didn't you say guys are too obsessed with love affairs and the like they won't get anything done, so now you're bringing girls? You said around 3 people joined but, don't tell me, they all quit? Everyone did. We're lacking in abilities, they said. Ah. Towards her words, Masachika somehow guessed the situation. In the first place, the women of the current student council were too amazing in so many ways. The vice president and the secretary Maria were the 2 most beautiful women in the second year. Aaliyah and Yuki were the 2 most beautiful girls in the first year. With that much, even if they were of the same sex they would also feel self-conscious, but Aaliyah, who was also a first year, was the most talented girl in her school year. And to be frank, Yuki was a former student council president in the middle school. If you were continuously being shown the difference between looks and actual work, an ordinary girl's heart wouldn't last. Having said that, guys are guys. Most of them had an ulterior motive to get close to a beautiful girl. Those who could do the job properly would be broken-hearted by the high practical skills of the women's team. In that aspect, Masachika-kun should not have a problem with practical skills, and you can get along well with me and Aaliyah-san, is what I think. In any case, you are a former student council vice president after all. Yuki said, hoping that it would be the final nail in the coffin to get Masachika to join. Wait, you were in student council before Q's-kun? He was, 2 years ago, in the middle school student council, I was the president and Masachika-kun was the vice president. Is that so? That was a long time ago, I don't want to do it again. Yuki gave a little troubled-like smile at Masachika, waving his hand with a look of complete rejection. And then she tilted his head towards Aaliyah, who was looking at Masachika with eyes full of surprise. He then turned his head and saw Rimuru smirking at him. I wonder why, were Masachika's thoughts. Aaliyah-san may find it surprising, but, even though Masachika-kun may appear this way, he is the kind of man who does things when he has to, He usually gives this kind of feel, though. What do you mean, this kind of feel? Hey, what do you mean? Masachika retorts. Yuki is right, Rimuru says, adding fuel to the fire, and then continues. Yuki, how'd I join the student council? I want to run for president, so I thought I would gather some experience first. Aaliyah's eyes widen when Rimuru asks this, as she too also wants to run for president. For those who are wondering why Rimuru was so comfortable with Yuki, it's because they've run into each other inside Kyuza's house. I was also there sometimes but only got acquainted with Yuki. I remember how Rimuru found out they were siblings, and therefore the both of them decided to tell him the secret, which Rimuru already knew because he read the book. In return, Rimuru told them that he was God, but they never believed it. Ooh, Rimuru, you want to run against me? The heir to the Suo family? Are you sure? Yuki says, trying to provoke a reaction but ultimately failing. Of course, I'm sure. In fact, I think it would be fun finally going against you in something other than Fortnite 1v1s. Rimuru replies, not getting flustered in the slightest. Shush. You can't say that here. Yuki gets worried because if her perfect noblewoman image blows up, there will be many problems for her. Hey, sorry. Anyways, if you want to join the student council, just go to the office with me after lunch. Alright. After lunch. By seal. Masachika, Aaliyah. Rimuru and I are going to leave now. Yuki leans in closer to me. I'm borrowing your boyfriend for a bit, hehe. I pout after hearing that as both Rimuru and Yuki leave. Yuki has a big smirk on her face while Rimuru looks confused. Rimuru's pav after leaving the table. Both Yuki and I walk towards another building while catching up with each other, as we haven't seen each other for 2 months. The walk there was nice, but many people were gossiping, wondering what the new student and the student council's public relations officer were doing together. After walking outside under the sheltered walkway and entering the building, we eventually ended up in front of the student council's room door. Alright Rimuru, we're here. Want to mentally prepare yourself? Yuki asks, hoping to make me slightly worried by subtly reminding me that this is the student council room and that I was about to meet the student council president. Doesn't work though. Me? Prepare? Nah, I'd get the position. No need for preparation? I say with absolute confidence. Alright then, let us go in. Yuki knocks on the door before entering. Hello Yuki, how are you doing? Oh. Who did you bring here? The student council president Tuya Kenzaki asks. I'm doing fine, but my friend here wants to join the student council. He's a new student. Alright then, come sit, new student. I walk to the couch and sit in front of the president's desk while Yuki sits on another nearby couch, hoping to see what I will do to gauge her future competitor. Hello, Student Council President Tuya Kenzaki. My name is Rimuru and I'm here to join the Student Council as the General Affairs Officer.